Our horses are not a commodity. Our horses are family members. And so in essence, when we're talking about equine insurance, we're insuring family members. So what could be more important than insuring family?
BFL is the absolute best insurance company that you can be with. They insure my horses, they insure my farm, they insure all of our automobiles. They are just a fantastic company when you need them.
We feel really great in our coverage with BFL. We don't have to worry, we're relaxed, and we can basically just focus on what we need to do.
We've had a long history with BFL, and it's really important for us at Millerbrook Farm to deal with people that we trust.
BFL is a great fit for us. We feel comfortable in our day-to-day being covered with the horses, being covered with our coaching, being covered with our facility.
BFL are horse people. So we get great confidence that they know what they're doing when it comes to our coverage.
BFL goes the extra mile just by always being there when you need them. It doesn't matter if it's a weekend, it doesn't matter if it's after hours. If you need them, they're there.
It is really important to have horse people insuring you in the horse business because they know our sport, they know our business, and they help you understand what is covered, what is not covered.
It's integral to have horse people insuring us. BFL are horse people. So we get great confidence that they know what they're doing when it comes to our coverage.
I couldn't be happier with my coverage with BFL. They're a fantastic company, and I'm so thankful to be associated with them.
Two-time Canadian Olympian with serious mileage at this level, Amy Miller's always one to watch. Nikki Walker has been the strongest rider this week with a double clear for Team Silver in the Nations Cup and a win in the qualifier. Double clear for Team Gold and second in the qualifier. Sloane Coles is hot on Nikki's heels. Double gold here in the 2015 Pan Ams in eventing, an anchor to the winning US team this week. Marilyn Little is looking to keep her momentum. Connor Swale is the top-ranked rider in the field today. He's world number 20 and is a previous Nations Cup winner from Thunderbird. He is one to watch.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening. Delighted to welcome you to Caledon Equestrian Park in the heart of Ontario. It is a stunning location. And 10 years ago, this was the Pan Am's birthplace, 2015. And in the field tonight, the lady that won the double gold in eventing, Marilyn Little, is part of the Grand Prix this evening. It will be sensational. 17 combinations to come forward. 3 nations are represented tonight. The home nation, the lion's share, 10 for Canada. They face the fierce 5 of the USA. The USA, the best team in the BFL Nations Cup. They won here 2 nights ago. And Ireland, they have got 2 only. But watch out for the Irish tonight because they include the highest world-ranked rider here this week, the world number 20, Connor Swale. It certainly is going to be a fascinating competition. And these are the 17. We take you through the start list. The Marilyn Little. Talked to her mum, Lynn, out on the course. She thinks it's a very tough Grand Prix first-round test. That is La Contessa. Christian Coyle has been on the Nations Cup winning teams for Ireland this year and Extravaganza Semi. Won a big Grand Prix at Live Oak last outing. And Nicole Walker, she won the qualifier. That was the Spruce to Attack qualifier yesterday. It's a beautiful young horse, Panther JVH. Tanner Karokian, the young American, he's only 23. And again, they've had very good 4-star Grand Prix form coming into Caledon. Kinmar Quality Hero starting at 8 for Tanner. And the double Olympian, her dad is a 10-time Olympian. That is Ian Miller, but Amy herself rode in Rio and in Paris, and that's a very nice horse, Jagger. This is the tail end of the first round, and there's Connor Swale, world number 20. Here's stunning grey, My Lady La Vista. And this is a great combination, number 12, Jacqueline Steffens, Daily Freaky. They'll be strong ones to watch. And Sloane Coles, she was second in the Spruce to Attack qualifier with Limoncello Z. He's only 9, that last horse. But Sloane Coles is in very good form. 90,000
thank you very
Canadian
much,
dollars.
Ryan. Of course, it's a great lineup of riders. As we briefly mentioned earlier on, we really do have some strong contenders for this competition. We mentioned briefly Marilyn Little earlier on. She was part of that winning Nations Cup team only on the other night. That was a great performance from all of the team, and she was one of the standout stars of that as well. We briefly mentioned Amy Miller as well. Of course, all that experience that she has from her championship appearances is sure to make her a serious contender here tonight as well. Nicole Walker is certainly another rider to keep your eye on. She, of course, represents Canada. She jumped double clear in the Nations Cup, and she won our qualifier just the other night as well. So she is on a serious run of form. Similarly, going down our starting order then, the rider who is most highly ranked in the field is Connor Swale, and he represents Ireland, and he's always a very competitive contender for any competition, not least this feature class of the week. Finally, another one to highlight out for you is Sloane Coles, again double clear in that Nations Cup competition, and she placed second in the qualifier just yesterday. So lots of names to keep on your radar, and as we said earlier as well, lots of tricky lines, and I think there'll be plenty of places they'll be caught out around this track. But hugely looking forward to it. $90,000 on the line for this competition, and that means that the riders will really be going for it tonight.
Well, thank you very much, Hannah, and it is an incredible scene of events right here. We haven't seen crowds here for quite some time like this, and it's going to be amazing.
What a great occasion. Our crowd is certainly packed in. It is full for gunnels, a full house night in Caledon, as we start off the evening with the national anthem of the host nation. This week it is the national anthem of Canada. Of course, our superb thanks to BFL Canada. They have been instrumental in their support of the horse show venues across the nation. They have wonderful insurance for all of your equine needs, whether it's insuring your horse, your trailer or your tack. And they have the best customer service representatives in the industry. Thank you to the team at BFL for the support of our feature class tonight. Their wonderful 3-star 1m55 Grand Prix.
Everyone's going to be vying for those elite spots on the podium here tonight. We'll be crowning our champion here today, the FEI 3-star Grand Prix, proudly presented by our great friends at BFL Canada.
Our superb grand jury as well, presided over by Philippe Rosson from Quebec, Elaine Zander from Brazil, Emilia Gomez from Mexico, and nice to have both Jennifer Denif and Cindy Gerard from Ontario.
The greatest countries of the world is Canada, and we call home. Caledon Equestrian Park is a proud part of that, and our history traces back to the words the establishment of the Pan Am Games. At this time, we'd like to all please arise and stand and remove headwear.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the opening important ceremony. That is the national anthem of our wonderful host nation here tonight. We stand for the anthem of Canada. The night is set with the wonderful anthem of Canada, and we Introduce now the course for this BFL 90,000 3-star Grand Prix of Caledon 2025. Our course designer, it is Olaf Pedersen from Germany. An incredible career. He was a co-designer for the Athens Olympics back in 2004. The Asian Games in Qatar, again his centerpiece, 2006. The World Cup Finals, Las Vegas 2020. And he will design at the Asian Games in Pattaya, Thailand later this season. Over 500 Grand Prix that Olaf has set the course for. And his track tonight looks like a fearsome challenge. It's a long course, 465 meters, and the time allowed tonight is 75 seconds. I'll talk you around the course with our first to go this evening in this BFL Grand Prix of Caledon, and he's the youngest in the field at 19 years of age. William Martin, we welcome. The first of the 10 for Canada. He has been at 4 North American Youth Championships. He was the junior champion in 2022 at Traverse City. That was with Recorder Courcelle. Now this horse, Jasper, produced by Daniel Coyle. Still owned by Ariel Grange, who owns the Great Legacy, who led after the Table C first round in La Coruña prior to sadly dropping out of the Europeans. Was a devastating blow to the Lothlorien farm operation. William Martin rattles that line down between 4 and 5. That is the Kubota verticals. Plank at 4, not easy. It's a very forward distance out of this combination. B to C's a long one, stride, and William Martin into trouble at the mid parts. Jasper travels back. That's not particularly wide, but it's very tall. The Motion Endeavours Oxer at 8. It's then a holding distance on 6 down to the Maple Leaf Liverpool at 9. And that is the Yawning Stoneman Oxer, fence 10. This is the home turn. I think that will be the sting in the tail, and the sting, I'm afraid, bites William Martin for the second time. That wall comes late. It came early in the Nations Cup, but Olaf has mixed it up for this feature class this week. Good round. He'll have a couple of time as well. 76.26 as opposed to 75 seconds. Every second commenced out of 75 will incur a time penalty. It's a good fact-finding round. It's a tough test. That is everybody's estimation. The opening score of the BFL Grand Prix of Caledon is 10. The young gun at 19. Big night for him. William Martin has 10 with Jasper.
Yes, certainly looks tight, and especially with a course with so much to do here tonight. But we will then turn to our second competitor. This is Caledon with Charissa.
The USA have been very dominant this week because they won the BFL Nations Cup here 2 nights ago. And a very impressive display. Karma Godek, we welcome first of the quartet for the USA. In fact, 5 for the US tonight. And this lady, she is based at the Ohana Equestrian Preserve in Northern Virginia. She spent a decade in Europe competing before returning to the States in 2012. Has trained with some greats, Laura Krauts, Katie Prudhomme previously, and now with Jan Candela, the Canadian. Karma Godek saddles Charissa this evening. This is their second full season this year. They debuted in November of 2023. It's produced by a very good German jockey, and a guy I've seen in Europe, Josh Lurden. He's a talent. They jumped the World Cup in Ocala last year, March of last season. And they were 3rd in the Pommies 2-star Grand Prix at this venue 1 week ago. They did jump the 5-star Grand Prix at Lexington late April, a couple down in the Kentucky Horse Park. Karma Godek runs down, fairly conservative start. Yeah, I thought losing power maybe at 4. It's quite a ginger start, I think. I want to get a move on, and she does. Charissa travels back to the Chestnut Park. So this is a big wide fence. I think now they've got the wind in their sails. I hope they need it here badly. It's a long distance out, and they will get it. Crowd gets involved as well, as if to reflect the magnitudes of this evening's course in this Grand Prix. Karma Godek has measured this round perfectly. She knows her horse backwards because it was, again, quite a tentative start, as I've said, and now the wheels are really turning. Charissa has got 12 seconds to come home inside time. She will just be ahead of the clock here. Karma Godek is homebound. Time is tight enough. I think she's just okay. Jumps the last fence, and yeah, inside time. 1 2/3 seconds to the good of the clock. What a good round. I was a little bit worried down to 4, but Karma Kodak knew her horse perfectly. First clear round of the BFL Grand Prix, and what a superb reaction we enjoy watching from Karma Kodak. Drissa is clear.
Well, next up we'll go to Alexandra Worthington again for the USA with Deloisier, owned by Turn a Blind Eye LLC. This one is a 12-year-old self-processed gelding by Capital Dargon and out of Miss Flight.
They were on the winning Nations Cup team this week for the United States.
3 to come back-to-back for the USA, and this is second as they look for their second clear round as a nation. And this lady, she's very talented, 25 years of age. The tall figure of Alexandra Worthington. She's from Las Vegas in Nevada. And she's a clever cookie. She got a scholarship to Vanderbilt University in mathematics, economics, and computer science. And then went on to win a place at Harvard Business School. So this lady is a high flyer. They'll need to be tonight. It's a big course. And this is the Loiselier for Alexandra Worthington. Fourth season together. They debuted in January 2022. She came over to Geneva, the big Concours Hippique International, in 2023. The big classes there. U25s, yeah, sure, but second and fourth in the Prix and Coupe Defenders in the mighty Expo. This pair have had a good Grand Prix win. They won the 2-star Grand Prix at Terra Nova in Florida mid-February this season. And they were third in a 3-star Grand Prix at Wellington late April. They've got my money for a clear round. Prepped them this morning in their form leading into Caledon. You think this would be our second clear of the night, and the USA would then be flying. De Loiselier clearly out of the Self-Francais stud book. Alexandra Worthington travels now homebound. It's been a very good round. My instinct is time will not be overly inside here. I think she's got to get a bit of a shift on. Son of Capital Dargon is going to be over the time. Alexandra Worthington is going to be bitten by the clock. 0.1 over. I thought she dawdled the corner between the Stoneman Oxer back to the wall. Of course, she wanted to set up for that big vertical. I think she lost some time there, and yeah, it's an agonizing 1 time penalty, 0.1 the deficit. Oh, that's really unfortunate. It is the one for an otherwise very good performance from Alexandra Worthington, and the Loiselier, the second for the USA, has 1 time penalty. There were only 3 double clears in the BFL Nations Cup here 2 days ago, and the USA romped home to victory. Ireland led after round 1. They had a calamity in the second round to open the door to the US, and this lady jumped one of the 3 double clears through the 2 rounds. This is a venue that she knows and has been so dominant at over the years, because a decade ago the Pan Am's held here, and this lady, RF Scandalous, won the double gold medal. And actually Jessica Phoenix jumping the class before this one today. Jessie won the silver behind Marilyn a decade ago. From Frederick in Maryland initially. She did show jump prior to her eventing career, and actually her 5-star wins date back to 2009 at Wellington. And then in 2010 had 2 very good 5-star wins at Spruce Meadows, no less a venue. La Contessa is on the course. Second season with Marilyn. They started in January last year. They were second in a big 3-star 155 Grand Prix at the World Equestrian, or Windsor Equestrian Festival. I just get mixed up between WEF and WEC. At Wellington, that was just 500ths behind Ben Mayer and Ginger Blue. Marilyn is aware of the time. She's scorching early. La Contessa free flowing down to the Angelstone Tournament's treble. Stride out of here will be easy. Came in with a real head of steam. .43 years of age, world number 209, and Marilyn Little is looking very secure here. And time will be way inside. Sees a big distance down to the Stoneman Ox. 20 seconds on the home turn. She's gone like a bullet. Marilyn Little a little bit disjointed the count down to the double, but just gets away with it. It's been very convincing. Overall, what a powerful round. Had a quick chat to Lynn Mum out of the course walk. We were already thinking how many clears there would be. We do have our second clear round, of course, to clear for Alexandra Worthington with a 1 time. Lynn said if Marilyn was one of those 2 clears, she'd be delighted. Did not want, of course, a big jump off to try and deny her daughter the win tonight. The USA flying. Carmen Godek has strong company. Pan Am's double gold medal winner here 10 years ago. Marilyn Little is also through with La Contessa. Bear in mind that mare, she is only 9 years of age. What a round.
Yes, we next welcome Christine Carlson, 26-year-old rider with Caledon owned by Valhalla Equestrian. This one is a 9-year-old Belgian warm blood mare by Castellas van der Helle and out of Hildegard Hay.
This combination won the Grand Prix last Sunday here in Caledon, so they have been right up there on the podium.
You can just see the face of Christine Carlson reflects the gravity of the course that she knows lies ahead of her. She's 26 years of age, and the young Canadian gets on course. This is Quilaja van der Helle, combination 5, and it's a tough start. This pair in their second season together was produced in Belgium by Wout Neven. This is only their second 3-star Grand Prix as a pair, hence the stern-looking Christine Carlson's face at the takeoff points. And actually, bear in mind their 3-star Grand Prix debut was a retirement at Traverse City in late June, so that is why Christine Carlson feeling the heat tonight, and let's hope things go smoothly from here on in. She has the back of the Oxer into the big treble. That's imposing. 150 by 160. There are 3 Oxers of that dimension. And they are 7A, 12B, and the last fence of 13. They're the 3 really monster obstacles. But that retirement would mean she'd just be delighted to get home and dry tonight. The wall gets a proper clatter. Hit it with the knees, and Christine Carlson bows out of the late combination. I'm sort of hoping she represents, because I think the horse's confidence is intact that she could. Quilaja does come back and gets through it the second time. Christine Carlson grits out this round. Yeah, it's important to get a completion, otherwise you start to question yourself and your horse, I think. So I think a very good move, because as I say, the horse's confidence clearly was okay. There are big fences out there, and they're new to the level. Christine Carlson does come home. It's a big score, 42 penalties, but she survives Olaf Pedersen's stern test this evening.
Getting ready for another day.
Yes, great to see that. You know, as you say, really just rebalanced ahead of the double combination and jumped the rest really well. But we move on quickly then to Christian Coyle with Extravaganza Semi. He rides for Alexis Page Bordeaux on this horse.
This is an 11-year-old Self-Française mare by Janak out of Zarina Velvet, who is my heartbreaker. This combination was also out in Spruce Meadows last week, and they were part of the Nations Cup team for Ireland this week. Extravaganza Semi.
Christian Coyle comes into the heat of battle, the first of the 2 for Ireland this evening. He's from Derry initially. He moved to the USA in 2023 and has twin bases, Richfield, Connecticut and Wellington, Florida. Was part alongside his cousins Daniel and Jordan Coyle and Connor Swale with this horse. The Nations Cup win for Ireland at T-Bird. That was the week before their great win at La Boule for the La Barrière Nations Cup in France. Now this pair, they had a great recent win. I mean, not recent, but again, not long ago. That was the Live Oak Grand Prix 4-star Grand Prix winner in mid-March. And that was the only double clear to beat. Actually, Daniel into second place with Farrell. Extravaganza Semi, I'm afraid. Not a heavy touch, but contact at 3. First blood on the course for the Irishman, I'm afraid. extraordinary, the depth of talent that comes out of Ireland, whether it's Bertram, Harry Allen, Connor Swale here in the USA and Canada, the Coyles. The list just goes on and on. Cian O'Connor. Going back to John Leddingham. His great Derby victories at Hickstead. But Extravaganza Semi just a little bit off form this week. I've been watching closely. I've never seen this pair. I can just see they're not quite in their A game, and we see that as they paddle out over the top of the wall. And yeah, don't quite feel the wind in this. Bay Sales, he's 11 years of age, son of Jarnac. So tough round to watch for Christian Coyle. He gets home across the line, but it has been hard viewing, and I'm sure hard in the saddle. It's always frustrating when you see, of course, a top combination, as we well know with that string of results that they've had, losing form at a critical point. Christian Coyle has 27, so two big scores come back-to-back in this BFL Grand Prix of Caledon tonight in Ontario.
But the great rider that Christian is was able to get the horse back through and reset and finish nice and strong. All right, guys, this one is a special one. I want everyone to get on your feet right now and welcome from Caledon, the winner of last night's Grand Prix and silver finalist there on the Nations Cup team on Thursday night. Nicole Walker is here with the great one, Enter JPH.
Yes, this one is her own horse, this 10-year-old stallion. He's by Le
The next to come, this lady has had a superb week because she won the team silver with the Canadian team in the BFL Nations Cup here 2 days ago. And she won the Spruce to Attack qualifier for this very Grand Prix. That was with her superb Atout de Tremble yesterday. Nicole Walker saddles this horse. It's Stephanie Carroll produced the Netherlands. It is Panther JVH. Their third season together. Their 5-star Grand Prix debut was a big occasion. The RBC Grand Prix of Canada mid-June at Spruce Meadows. I enjoyed watching this horse in Europe. I had my eye on Panther, thinking he was an outstanding talent. Snapped up by the Walker family. Granddaughter of the Austro-Canadian businessman and a huge figure in the thoroughbred racing industry, Frank Stronach. Nicole is in clearly a purple patch this week in Caledon. Two clears at this point, and they are both for the USA, so this the home riposte to the American clears, and Nicole Walker well down through the Angelstone treble. Panther looking quite quick as well, I think, as Nicole travels down to 9, the Maple Leaf Liverpool. Yeah, 20 seconds here. That is akin to Marilyn Little's time on this home turn. And Marilyn was way inside time. The home crowd gasp, they inhale, preparing for the home clear. In fact, no, time's tight here. No, it's gone wrong on the clock, I'm afraid. I'm really frustrated, and I'm kind of surprised because I watched Marilyn's time and she jumped the Stoneman Oxer and she wasn't so far ahead. But clearly, the American made some time up into that late double combination, whereas I'm afraid Nicole Walker is the wrong side of the time. 2 time penalties for Panther GVH after a very good jumping performance.
Has so much game time. You see the scope on that horse? You know, she definitely knows how to pick her. She's got 3 incredible horses that she gets to ride, and she can really have the pick of the litter, Hannah.
Yeah, for sure.
So the position we've jumped now, 7 combinations of the 17. It is the 2 clears. So 1 out of 3.5 is the exact ratio, proving perfect. I think Olaf Pedersen will be very happy with his work. He kept it within the dimensions exactly, but certainly some very forward distances which will encourage the riding we need in equestrian sport, which is of course forward and free-flowing, to keep horses in their sort of natural mindset as they would have been pack wild animals in yesteryears. The fourth now of the 10 for Canada, and this is a very good old combination. Dominika van der Lukasova. She's 16 years of age, daughter of Cardento. And of course, the other great grey that just recently retired, Petter Fredriksson's Catchman Ortes, again a Cardento offspring that was so impressive for Petter for many, many years. Susan Horn is on the course, this her own Dominika. Great old partnership. They started in January 2020, this their 6th season. They had a 2-star win here at Caledon back in July 2022. And they had a very good 8th place in the Major League Show Jumping Grand Prix at Wesley Clover Parks in Ottawa, the Canadian capital, August of 2022, that same year as the win here in Caledon. They've been up at Spruce Meadows recently competing, and it is a great start here. Dominika powers down through the treble, little rub out, but it stays. Wasn't a big contact. Susan sees a peach of a stride out of the corner. Soars out over the back of 8. And she now must be quick enough. She's only a second up on the clock, but I think this horse, hopefully, she goes wide to the wall. Risky wide. Susan Horn is homebound, still clear, but time is going to be exceeded again. Maybe had that in her mind on the approach to the double as the late mistake comes 3 from home. Oh, time was very tight. 600ths of a second over that wide turn to the wall, of course, the time reasoning. But that fence into the late double after a beautiful round. It's the 4 penalties for jumping, 1 time 5 for Dominika van der Lukasova and Susan Horn. Great effort, denied there and on the clock. Great to see our crowd absolutely engaged with the action, craning their necks forward on the edge of their seats. The proposition that I put forward to you is that it is not impossible here that the USA could have the 3 clear rounds, because this young man, 23 years of age, Tanner Krotkin, we welcome forward. If he can be a veteran at 23, he's been a veteran of 2 North American Youth Championships. And the Team Silver came at Traverse City, the Young Riders, in 2022. Mum and Dad, Alan and Kirsty Krotkin. They are equine trainers at Wellington, their beautiful Castlewood farm. Tanner, very composed young man, as you can well see. He started at 8 years of age in the saddle. He was disinterested initially. Mum and Dad, the story goes, actually had to bribe him to go to his first proper lesson, with a trip, if he did, to go to Universal Studios. It was the great story I read in preparation. He's had some very good trainers, including, of course, Mum and Dad, Missy Clark and John Brennan at North Run. And whether he's still with Shane Sweetnam at Sweet Oak Farm, or he was with Shane, I'm not sure. I'll have to ask Tanner later, but certainly Shane has had a late, if not current, input. And this young talent, Tanner Krotkin, is on the course. Last outing was at the World Equestrian Centre in Ocala. That was a very good 5th place in a 4-star Grand Prix. They've also recently won the 2-star IDA Developments Grand Prix at the same venue. So I'm hoping here for clear number 3, and Kinmar Quality Hero is well away. Tanner Krotkin comes down, he's got this horse well up in his hand. Ideal jump into the treble. You want to jump in big there. You don't want to have to press on landing to a pair of verticals. Kinmar Quality Hero out of the corner, makes a very secure job at the motion endeavours. Oxa. How's his time? I think he's going to cut this turn to the wall a bit sharper. Yeah, there's a lot more inside there. This is on time. Just about here. Tanner Krotkin. Don't be too cautious at the double. He's out of it, and he's going to be just inside time, I think. Kinmar Quality Hero down to the last fence. Is he inside? Yes, he is! Just inside. 600ths ahead of the clock. Ooh, cool from the young man. He left it very, very tight. 600ths a second, the advantage. Tana Karokin. The USA are ripping this apart. It's 3 clears for the Stars and Stripes. We've now jumped 9. And 3 of those 9, all the clears are for the USA. Good job.
3-way victories there on the podium. We got to get the Canadians, the Irish, back into this game, Hannah.
Yeah, just one American rider left to go, so it'd be great to get some Canadian home heroes into the jump off. But next up is somebody who could...
Well, this lady faces an uphill challenge because the entire crowd, maybe not the entirety, but the majority are Canadian, and their weight is on her shoulders. Amy Miller comes forward. Amy, 48 years of age and double Olympian. Paris last year and Rio 2016 with Heros. 4th with the Canadian team at the Games in Brazil. She hails from Perth, Ontario, Millbrook Farm. And business admin graduate of Ryerson University. Amy Miller gets on course. This is Jagger HX. The home nation has got 6 more chances, including Amy Miller. This one owned by Team Eye Candy, one of the Major League wonderful teams that compete on the Major League circuits. And Millbrook Farm, Amy's base as well. Jagger HX, he's 11 years of age, son of Ustinov out of the KWPN Studbook. Amy, I like the tempo, it's upbeat, it's not forward excessively, but this horse got a lot of natural power in his canter. Makes that treble look very much like child's play. Jagger has got the home crowd here, right on 10 hooks, because this is a perfect start. Amy is just like a knife through soft butter. This is beautiful. It's a tight turn as well. Time is as good as anybody. It's quicker than Tana Karokin at the walls, certainly. Jagger now, don't dawdle down to the double. She doesn't. 10 seconds. It's a walk in the park. Amy Miller has absolutely taken this challenge and faced it and overcome it beautifully. The home clear is delivered by Amy Miller. Jagger HX takes on the Americans on home sand here at Caledon. Perfect round.
Oh, Amy was, well, I was going to say she's feeling the pressure. She's not feeling the pressure. She's been this all around the world, under the lights at Englestone, and all across the world for the Major League Tour. She was absolutely lights out here tonight, and the Canadians are going to do battle with the Americans tonight. Amy Miller getting it done.
Carry on with the Canadian flavor now, then we go to Gavin Moylan. He rides his own horse, Butterfly here. This one is a 9-year-old Westphalian mare.
Gavin and Butterfly have been competing on the Grand Prix circuit in Ocala, Florida, and Tryon, North Carolina. They won a speed class.
There are just 3 9-year-olds in the BFL Grand Prix tonight of Caledon. This one of the 9-year-olds, and that is hence the reason for the little bit of frayed nerves that Butterfly is exhibiting. Gavin Moylan, we welcome. This is his own Butterfly. Gavin from Grand Prairie, Alberta initially. He started at 8 in the saddle, not too young actually relatively, but he did run a livery business at 12 impressively. And 18 committed to the equine industry. And now his base is the Palm Beach Point venue at Wellington. That is his location. Gavin Moylan, he has competed for a decade, and Butterfly, second international season with Gavin. They debuted in March of last year. They had a very good win May this year. The 145 Speed Stakes at Tron was a 2-star victory. They jumped their first 4-star Grand Prix at the World Equestrian Centre in Ocala. Last outing, they were 7th with just 2 times. So again, yeah, she looked a little bit skittish at the start, but I think Butterfly could be the second Canadian clear, even though she's 9. We wait and see. Gavin Moylan already 33 seconds up on the clock. He's got to be aware, I think, of the time. She's swiftly down through the treble 7 ABC. And that's a good tight turn back to 8, so he's shaved some yardage off the course, certainly. Butterfly, ooh, dawdles in the turn. Back to the wall. Come on, Gavin. He's got to get a wiggle on here. The double awaits. He's right on the cusp of the time. He's in danger. Gavin Moylan's got to fly homewards. Butterfly is going to be just outside the time. 0.19, painful. She's only 9, and I think the occasion Gavin just had to set her up a little bit for the likes of that big wall. It's a fearsome late question from Olaf Pedersen. Great effort on one of the, as I say, young horses tonight. But one time, Gavin Moylan's got a great horse for the future.
Special horse named My Lady La Vista. He's one of the top ranked riders in the world, 20th to be in exact there on the FEI Longines rankings, and what a rider he is, Hannah.
Yeah, what an incredible rider. He was the leading.
The next to come, the man from St Field, County Down, and started as a real toddler in the saddle. Connor Swale, we welcome. And the world number 20. He won his major League Grand Prix maiden win, came at Tryon late last season. That was with Castorano. Connor Swale, 53 years of age this time. And this is the stunning grey My Lady La Vista for Connor. This horse owned by the Cherokee Show Horses for the Northern Irishman. They've been a great partnership this year. They won the Nations Cup at T-Bird along with the Core cousins. That was Jordan, Christian and Daniel in British Columbia. They've been in good form recently at Spruce Meadows. They were second and third in 2 5-star classes. The Grass Amphitheatre, Calgary, Alberta. Connor. Swift start here. My Lady La Vista travels, but gets in deep to the BFL Canada Oxa. She's responsive because that was not ideal. Yeah, and there's Yera, I'm afraid. I sort of saw Connor's body language as he was introduced by Ryan Claremont, our event director. I thought he looked a little bit not believing when Ryan said he's a top world ranked rider. I saw a little reaction. I'm not sure there was confidence oozing from the Irishman at the start. That was my impression. I'm afraid it's coming true slightly given this man's huge ability. My Lady La Vista down this swinging left-hander. 8-9, Stoneman Oxer at 10. Connor Swale, wheels tight back to the massive wall, the Angelson Tournament wall that is the entry into the final line at 11. So tiny margins again in world-class show jumping that can separate a success and a disappointing round. Connor Swale got into the rhythm, but the only mistake is the fence he just goes alongside the BFL Canada Oxa. It's the blemish for the world number 20 tonight, and I'm afraid Connor Swale bows out of the BFL Grand Prix tonight here of Caledon. The next to start, this lady, this great combination we have so enjoyed over the years, and Jacqueline Stephens-Daly tries now to join Amy Miller to post a second Canadian clear to answer the devastating form that the Americans are showing with their 3 clears this evening. You can just see Tanner Crockin walking ahead of our judges' box. He's got a spring in his step. He looks very, very buoyant, the young American. And this is freaky. They're an outstanding combination. I would imagine a clear round is very, very likely. This pair together since 2019, their 7th season. The last win was mid-October last year. That was at Tryon in North Carolina. venue of the World Equestrian Games back in 2018. That was the welcome stake they won on the east side of the USA. Freaky off to a sharp start for Jacqueline. Quite strong in her hand down to the Kubota. 4 black bars. Fence 5 gets out over it. You can tell this pair, they love operating. They're a purely harmonious, happy combination. Jacqueline, yeah, Freaky eats the treble for breakfast, lunch and dinner. Jacqueline, ooh, big stride, she sees at 8, right on the boundaries of possibility. Pigtail flying, Freaky is having a blast out there. Jacqueline Stephens-Daly is ahead of the clock as well. Canada eye up their second clear as a nation to mount the challenge. The USA, the invaders, who are looking so dominant. Look at the time. This surely the quickest of the BFL Grand Prix of Canada. Poor deep spot as well from Freaky. Jacqueline's expression says it all. Heart in your mouth of the last fence, but it comes good. And we now have 5 clears. The second for Canada to match nearly the 3 from the USA. I think certainly bubbling, brewing very nicely, twisting and turning, and 5 clears with now 4 more to jump only, and 3 of those final quartet are for the home nation Canada, so Canada are certainly responding. I think it's so important that Amy Miller came out to start the Canadian riposte, otherwise things were going to get out of home grasps, I think. The next to come, Carly Fairty, we welcome. 32 years of age. She was at the North American Youth Champs, the Young Riders at Lexington back in 2014. And 14th there with Lady Plane. This is Jet Plane tonight. 3rd season they've had together. Started in July of 2023 and produced by Ireland's Conan Wright. They have had 2 wins this year. 142-star win at Wellington late January. And their last outing was a 2-star victory. And that was a Grand Prix as well at the World Equestrian Centre in Ocala in late June. So Canada here can dream of 3 clears. And it's a quick start. They get away sharply away to the Chestnut Park Ox. This horse not tall, but boy, has got power as they exit the treble with a real sense of determination and achieving a beautiful round. This is the, I'm afraid, the offspring of White Snake, this mare, and out of Ulan. Maple Leaf, I'm afraid, sadly bites the home nation. And a successive vertical, the Angel Stone wall goes, so 9 and 11 both sanded. Carly Fairty, great to see her smile down to the last fence. The Caledon flags Liverpool, but those 2 verticals, I'm afraid, 9 and 11. And it will be a couple of time penalties as well for Jet Plane. Good effort tonight. It is 10 after a very promising first 3 quarters of the round for Carly Fairty. Fairgreen Sod Farms is Jet Plane has 10.
Yeah, there's a good name still left to go, including this one right here. This is a great rider indeed. We'll be welcoming.
Just to recap, the 5 clears, the 3 for the USA, that are Karma Godek, Charissa. Marilyn Little was very, very quick, and I think she might be the one to beat tonight's My Instinct. La Contessa, Tana Crokin, the 23-year-old for the USA, with Kinmar Quality Hero, and the 2 home clears for Canada's Amy Miller. Jagger HX, that was immaculate. What a display from Jacqueline Stephens-Daly. She will also be, I think, one to watch for the win. That was with Freaky. the new starter, Sean Jobin. 3 more to come in this riveting BFL Grand Prix of Caledon. Sean is on board the Antrim Equestrians. Sterhoff Sedinas tonight. Twin bases for Sean at Fox Ridge Farms in Florida and in Ohio. Now this is the great old Sterhoff Sedinas on course, former rider of Mark Hausacher. 16 years of age, but no, Sean Jobin, I'm afraid, trails feet over 5 the Kubota black set of rails. Sean Jobin had a very good win this week, a 3-star class a couple of days ago with our Cougar, was the first out in that class, and he won impressively by 4 seconds. Sterhoff still looks very good at 16. That was a great jink turn away from 8. Loving his round as well. Sean Jobin is very fast, I think. Or is he? Down to the late double. It's going to just be inside the time, but he has to hunt home. Actually, time pushed very close. And, yeah, exceeded, I'm afraid. Second error for Sean Jobin. Fence 5 and the final fence of 13 are the blemishes. And he will add 2 time penalties. 1.05 seconds out of the time on Olaf Pedersen's really interesting course this evening here in Caledon. But horse 16 and having a blast out there, that was clear. Well, this is a great scene. Our crowd having a real field day as we come to the back end of this first round. And the 5 clears, the 3 for the USA, the 2 for Canada. It's going to be a very interesting jump off indeed, that is very certain.
You know, we were here on Thursday night and Carly absolutely thrilled us with a clutch performance with Bertino on the Thursday night for the Nations Cup and round.
This is a beautiful tall grey. It's got a sort of regal look about him. Bertino PS comes in. Of course, he's from royal bloodlines because his father, Balubé de Rouet, former world champion. That was the win in Rome with Rodrigo Pessoa and the 3 World Cup final wins. Carly Campbell-Cooper is on course for Canada, 42 years of age. Bertino's been in great form. And home nation well placed here for their 3rd clear because 10th in the Aon Grand Prix, presented by Rolex at Spruce Meadows in late June. And 13th in the RBC Grand Prix again at Spruce. That was in mid-June. Bertino lands quite heavy after a huge airborne effort at the Chestnut Park Oxer. He is on springs here. Carly, sit tight out of the treble. And then, but yeah, she's very cool there because he was airborne, but then quickly gets a getaway from the treble to keep an eye on the clock as well. Carly Campbell-Cooper is gunning this here home turn. Not got a huge amount of time. The mistake, I'm afraid, does come at the Angel Stone Tournament's wall at 11. What a shame, because time is going to be just okay. Carly Campbell-Cooper comes home. Oh, what a shame. 1800ths inside time, but the mistake bites the Canadian combination. 4th from home after an exhibition of airborne acrobatics. Carly Campbell-Cooper, this was the late mistake. 4 for Bertino PS. The penultimate of the first round of this BFL Grand Prix of Caledon 2025. Unlucky, great round to watch.
This is another one that we highlighted earlier. Had a fantastic week here so far with plenty of clears. 2nd in the qualifier last night, double clear in the Nations Cup. This is slow.
The last to go, it's been a pulsating first round. It has been really good to watch, and this lady's had a brilliant week. Team Gold came with the USA in the BFL Nations Cup here 2 nights ago, and this combination was 2nd in the Spruce with Tack qualifier yesterday for this very class. Sloane Coles from Spring Ledge in Virginia turned 37 about a week ago, so this could be a very nice late birthday present. But bear in mind, this horse is only 9. Limoncello Z gets down to the start line. Formerly with John and BZ Madden, and her Nations Cup debut for the US national team was at Spruce Meadows back in 2019. This horse is a precious talent. I've noted that this week, but as I say, young at 9, but let's hope. This is a recent partnership as well. They formed in just May this year. And their 5-star debut was at Lexington. Sloane Coles makes a great start here. Tall figure. Runs right-handed limoncello though, no. Just bunny hopping down to the chestnut oxer. Lost all impulsion, and I'm imagining the 9-year-old maybe caught sight of the gallery just across on the left flank of that oxer. Lost momentum suddenly, and I'm pretty sure, knowing horses quite well, that that would be a peripheral vision awakening the crowd he's not seen before. But again, Sloane would have brought him here to this Grand Prix knowing that he was young, knowing that at this age things won't always be plain sailing, but they need experience. You've got to know when you can push them and when you better back off, and Sloane, I think, has brought him at the right time to this Grand Prix. Limoncello said homebound. Sloane Coles will not add to the 3 for the USA. He's going to have a stack of time as well, but again, that is his greenness at the level. Second error out of the double prior to the home turn. Well, we'll hear a lot more of him, certainly. Sloane Coles has had a superb week with the win in the Nations Cup and the second place in the Spruce with Tack qualifier for this very Grand Prix yesterday. But this, the moment where they lost all rhythm and forward momentum. 25 for Sloane Coles and Limoncello Z, the last of the first round of the $90,000 Canadian BFL Grand Prix of Caledon 2025, and it's been epic.
She'll be returning back to the stables, which means we're going to have another battle like we did last night between the Americans and the Canadians. It's a bit off balance right now. We've got 3 Americans in it and 2 Canadians. So
it's been a superb, just less than 1 hour. It's been thrilling sport. 17 combinations are now reduced, pared down to just 5. The USA very much in the driving seat. They have the 3 clears. Of course, they will come first, and then the Canadian answers will come 4 and 5. So the home team's got the advantage of having a little bit of time to assess the likes of Karma Godek, Marilyn Little and Tanner Crockins around to see where they can catch up time. Well, onto these 5, they have mastered Olaf Pedersen's first round course. And a traditional Canadian-American battle we have very much on our hands here for the BFL Grand Prix of Caledon 2025. It's going to be really exciting. Thank you very much to BFL, our superb sponsors. They have been an instrumental supporter of horse show venues across the nation, and they are the great insurers for all of your equine needs, whether it's to insure your horse, your trailer, or your tack. They have wonderful customer service representatives throughout Canada in the industry who are specialists as part of the equestrian community. Thank you to the team at BFL for being so supportive of our superb venue here at Caledon, and their Grand Prix is certainly a fascinating proposition. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your company. Of course, the icing on the cake is still coming up. Do not go far away. We take a commercial break. We will see you soon for the jump off for the BFL Grand Prix of Caledon 2025. Thank you for your company. We'll be back soon.
Our horses are not a commodity. Our horses are family members. And so in essence, when we're talking about equine insurance, we're insuring family members. So what could be more important than insuring family?
BFL is the absolute best insurance company that you can be with. They insure my horses, they insure my farm, they insure all of our automobiles. They are just a fantastic company when you need them.
We feel really great in our coverage with BFL. We don't have to worry, we're relaxed, and we can basically just focus on what we need to do.
We've had a long history with BFL, and it's really important for us at Millerbrook Farm to deal with people that we trust.
BFL is a great fit for us. We feel comfortable in our day-to-day, being covered with the horses, being covered with our coaching, being covered with our facility.
BFL are horse people, so we get great confidence that they know what they're doing when it comes to our coverage.
BFL goes the extra mile just by always being there when you need them. It doesn't matter if it's a weekend, it doesn't matter if it's after hours. If you need them, they're there.
It is really important to have horse people insuring you in the horse business because they know our sport, they know our business, and they help you understand what is covered, what is not covered.
It's integral to have horse people insuring us. BFL are horse people, so we get great confidence that they know what they're doing when it comes to our coverage.
I couldn't be happier with my coverage with BFL. They're a fantastic company, and I'm so thankful to be associated with them.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is jump-off time here for the BFL Grand Prix of Caledon 2025, and 5 combinations. It's a US-Canada head-to-head, 3 for the USA and 2 for the home nation. And Canada have got the advantage because they will be the last 2 to jump. And to talk you around the course here, because it's a fascinating jump-off course that Olaf Pedersen, co-designed the Athens Olympics. Olaf back in 2004 has set. It's 375 meters, so quite a long jump off course as they come and go. 6 seconds is the time allowed, but don't worry about that. I can tell you the specifics. They will start up over the Motion Evers Oxer. Away from the gate is not an easy fence location with that magnetic effect back to the paddock. Fence 8. They then have a short left-hander, not a big distance to really gallop at. 9, that is the Maple Leaf vertical. 4 rails there. Then comes a very tough turn back to the Angelstone Tournament wall at 11. That is the hardest turn on the course. That is the crunch point back to 11. Then it is the 7 or maybe even 6 strides in this jump off down to the double. 12A and B remain. The Maple Leaf Gold Black combination. 1 stride in between the vertical and the Oxer. They then have another sharp turn, another critical point to the Nations Cup of Caledon. Oxer, red and white and perfectly square. That is fence number 15. It's a very hard right-hander. It's a serpentine line, 12B to 1. Then the other way, right-handed into 7B, the lone wolf of the triple combination that remains outstanding. The turn then after 7B is again so tough. Back to our sponsors, the BFL Canada. Oxer is 3, it's big and wide, and then it's an enormous run. It must be 40 meters, 50 meters or so down to the Kubota vertical. The black rails are out. It's now an orange, white, grey, black affair. That is the final fence at 5. It's going to be some sprint between the penultimate at 3 down to the final fence. What a jump, of course. It is really tough for a 3-star Grand Prix. It's going to just tell the tale because 5 combinations are still live and kicking. The total prize purse that is 90,000 Canadian dollars tonight. Welcome to the BFL Grand Prix of Caledon's jump off this evening. Who's going to win? We've got 4 horses, 5 horses that are of age to be competitive because they're all above 10 years of age. Youngest horse still standing is La Contessa for Marilyn Little, second in for the USA. We've got Jagger HX for Amy Miller, he's 11. And then we have Kinmar Quality Hero, the Irish horse for Tanner Crockin at 12. Charissa at 14 for Karma Godek, our trailblazer. The last out will be the most seasoned pair, Freaky at 15. For Jacqueline Steffens Daly, they could be explosive tonight, of course, with the home advantage with the crowd and the significance of the event here at Caledon. I think I'm going to go with the youngest horse tonight. That is the 10-year-old La Contessa. I'm backing Marilyn Little for the win, but I do not know. So here we go. The gloves will come off. They're going to come out punching because this is a prestigious Grand Prix and we wait very excitedly for the outcome this evening. Karma Godek will lead us into action. And this, as I say, the 14-year-old German mare, daughter of Clarimo no less, it is Charissa. First out of the BFL Grand Prix of Caledon 2025.
Back from the break right now. This is round 2. Speed is the name of the game right here.
Karma Godek looks pretty calm to my eye. She's certainly breathing well, and this beautiful grey mare looks eager, attentive though, not over the top by any stretch of the imagination. Here we go. Charissa is going to come storming around the corner. Boy, this is a very quick start here. Karma Godek hits the first at real speed, and then the getaway to 9 is electric. Charissa rattles around the corner. Boy, this is very fast to the wall here. I think they'll go tighter and slower, but Karma Godek then accelerates down to the double. Through there superbly, no, the tiny touch. Front bar of the Oxer, I'm afraid. Hits the Caledon sand. What a shame. It was a brilliant first half she was assembling. but it's a long way home. Charissa turns now into this home line still. Karma Godek's got her elbows working. Down to the final fence. It's been a great round to watch. Not easy as a trailblazer with the demands of this jump-off course that are really top end. Just one down out of the double. Superb effort, but 12B bears its teeth into the American flesh. 47.37 the time for Karma Godek. It's his fall for Charissa, first out of the BFL Grand Prix of Caledon tonight here in Ontario. But what a speed she set off at. It was quite extraordinary how quick she was into the opening fence.
Yeah, she's been absolutely amazing. Very, very consistent. As I said, she rides out of Florida, and she's enjoying her time up in Caledon, as we are seeing absolute.
The next to come, the Pan American double gold medal winner at this very venue back in 2015 in eventing. But Marilyn Little started in show jumping, then to eventing, now back to her initial equestrian sports and La Contessa. Youngest horse still in this Grand Prix at 10. Stormed around the first round in a very quick time. That was 71.87. And yes, I think that was the quickest first round. Yeah, just a bit quicker even than Jacqueline Steffens Daly. Now the second into the BFL Grand Prix of Caledon jump off. Marilyn Little gets away and picks the speed up immediately. La Contessa hunts down to 9. Marilyn comes with a real gallop now off the turn back to the Angel Stone wall. It's a much tighter turn. Scurries to get the footwork. Just about does it. La Contessa then down to the double. Marilyn Little has still got her foot on the gas. La Contessa storms, angles. Back to the Nations Cup of Caledon Oxa. 30 seconds on the time as she's got 3 fences to go. But there, I'm afraid, is a mistake. 3 from home for Marilyn Little, and the Pan American double gold medal winner is going to be out of the BFL Canada Grand Prix of Caledon tonight, I'm afraid. What, around 47.04 was a scorching time. It was only actually 0.32 quicker than Karma Godek. Looked fast to my eye, but actually I think the speed that Karma set up through the first 3 fences had her nearly on time with Marilyn Little, but lost power into that wall, got away with that error. But I'm afraid the mistake comes. 3 from home. Valiant effort tonight from Marilyn Little. It is 4 for La Contessa. Still the lead, of course, but we do have 3 more to come, and the one man who can likely lift this BFL Grand Prix for the USA is this one, Tanner Krotkin. 23 years of age. Now this man, as I saw earlier, looked very buoyant after his first round clear, but he's clearly steeled his nerve. He's iced his sympathetic nervous system, and Tanner Krotkin about to press the launch button with Kinmar Quality Hero as we look for the first double clear, but he knows he's got the 2 Canadians come in his wake. I don't think he'll leave much in the locker room. Tanner Krotkin arches out over 8, and then good stride, but no, the Americans, I'm afraid, are all hitting fences. Tanner turns back to the wall, clears it, but quite extraordinary to see the American challenge struggling, and Tanner's problems, I'm afraid, compound down through the double, both 12A and B. Errors 2 and 3. Not easy. The home crowd, of course. I don't think this man would actually notice that at 23. I think he'd just be purely in the moment, but I'm not sure what enters the top rider's mindset when they're young. Tanner Krotkin, homebound. Pain for him. We certainly feel his pain. It is going to be the 3 down and his big Grand Prix tonight, I'm afraid. It's a frustrating second round for Tanner Krotkin. He's had a very good run up to Caledon with the win in Ocala and the 5th place in the 4-star Grand Prix, as well at the World Equestrian Centre. But it is going to be 12 penalties, and he will go into 3rd with 2 to come. It does mean that Marilyn Little is guaranteed a podium finish. We know that. La Contessa, 4 penalties, 47.05.
Ladies and gentlemen, get on your hands and stand up here and put your hands together for a Canadian legend of the sport. Amy Miller is here to absolutely thrill it. She's aboard Jagger HX. She's here for the win. Let's cheer her on.
Now things get really interesting as the first of the two still remaining for Canada gets underway. Double Olympian. Amy Miller sets sail, and boy, she sets sail. Jagger HX, oh, scorches down to the vertical. Same fence as Tanner Crockin. It's dispatched. Amy, though, is going to have to try now and get ahead of La Contessa's time. 47.05. Marilyn was quick. I'm not certain she's up on the American time here. This horse has got a lot of ground cover. Jagger now spins back to the Angelstone vertical. 14 seconds now to get home ahead of Marilyn Little, which I'm afraid now is an academic observation. The second mistake for Jagger comes 3 from home. It's 2 down, and after a brilliant first round performance to give the home nation hope in the first round, it sadly does not come off for Amy Miller. Jagger HX has 2 down, 8 penalties in the jump off. This is the first error. 47.32 has Amy Miller into 3rd place with 1 to come.
You know, it's going to be interesting. Of course, she's going to be trying to clear around, but after she pulls a rail early on, we're going to be watching that time of 47.05 to take the fast of the force to the top of the
Jacqueline Stephens-Daly exhales in no uncertain manner because her challenge is clear. She's got to jump a clear round to win the BFL Grand Prix tonight of Caledon 2025, but it's a tough course. But this great combination, 7 seasons together, they know each other like a very well-worn pair of slippers, and Jacqueline gets away. Freaky, conservative start. She puts money right on the table to say, I will go for a clear here and no more. Would trust this horse's jumping style and ability. Freaky, though, wants to go quick. Jacqueline runs down through the double. 1 down at this pace, and Marilyn Little will be quicker. Now she's got to go for home because the mistake comes at 15. Jacqueline Stephens-Daly's got 15 seconds here, or Marilyn Little is going to win this Grand Prix, and she now has. Wow, extraordinary sport once again here. Pressure tells the tale. Oh, it's a really hard loss for the superb partnership. Jacqueline Stephens-Daly has 8 penalties with Freaky. It was still very fast, bearing in mind Jacqueline had the handbrake on. 48.43 was the time, but 2 down, I'm afraid. And our congratulations, because the win of the BFL Grand Prix of Caledon does go stateside. Marilyn Little wins with La Contessa with 4 penalties. 47.05 was the winning time, and the advantage, it is a US 1-2.32 of a second. The advantage of Marilyn Little establishes over Karma Godek and Charissa. 47.37 in second. Here's the confirmation. Congratulations, the 2025 BFL Grand Prix of Caledon goes to Marilyn Little. Karma Godek is second. The US have a great 1-2. No double clears, such was the strong demand of Olaf Pedersen's pair of rounds. Amy Miller is the best for the home nation. Jagger HX is third. 8 penalties, 47.32. The last jump, really agonizing. We all felt for Jacqueline Stephens-Daly. She is fourth with Freaky. And Tanner Crockin, he had a tough afternoon into evening. Kenmar quality here after a stunning open clear. Troubles out in the jump off for 3 down, 12 for Tanner. Alexander Worthington, 6th with De Loisilière with the 1 time was really unfortunate, as did Gavin Moylan. That horse only 9. Butterfly looked very, very good. And we did feel for Nicole Walker as well in the first round with a 2-time for the lovely Panther JVH. Colaswell had the early mistake in round 1. And Carly Campbell-Cooper looked very good, but 1 down for Baratino PS for the Canadian combination number 10.
We are with the sport. It's an absolute pleasure for us to present it. We'll get ready to welcome our winners into the ring tonight.
And as we take you down the start list, or the result list after the end results, Christian Carlson, Christian Cole in a little bit of trouble.
All the other competitors, and we'll be getting set to crown our champions here tonight.
Well, certainly we have seen a mighty Grand Prix tonight here. The BFL Grand Prix of Caledon has been really exciting. Thank you to Olaf Pedersen, the former Olympic co-designer from Athens. He set a mighty challenge. No double clears tonight, and the win goes to Marilyn Little for the USA. They won the BFL Nations Cup with the US team, and Marilyn Little has the great Grand Prix win tonight at Caledon here in Ontario. From myself, Edward Holloway, it's been a pleasure. Hope you've enjoyed the great competition. We'll see you next time. Thank you and good night.
Our horses are not a commodity. Our horses are family members. And so in essence, when we're talking about equine insurance, we're insuring family members. So what could be more important than insuring family?
BFL is the absolute best insurance company that you can be with. They insure my horses, they insure my farm, they insure all of our automobiles. They are just a fantastic company when you need them.
We feel really great in our coverage with BFL. We don't have to worry, we're relaxed, and we can basically just focus on what we need to do.
We've had a long history with BFL, and it's really important for us at Millerbrook Farm to deal with people that we trust.
BFL is a great fit for us. We feel comfortable in our day-to-day, being covered with the horses, being covered with our coaching, being covered with our facility.
BFL are horse people. So we get great confidence that they know what they're doing when it comes to our coverage.
BFL goes the extra mile just by always being there when you need them. It doesn't matter if it's a weekend, it doesn't matter if it's after hours. If you need them, they're there.
It is really important to have horse people insuring you in the horse business because they know our sport, they know our business, and they help you understand what is covered, what is not covered.
It's integral to have horse people insuring us. BFL are horse people. So we get great confidence that they know what they're doing when it comes to our coverage.
I couldn't be happier with my coverage with BFL. They're a fantastic company, and I'm so thankful to be associated with them.